Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak, Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone on down, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aaron coming back at you with another lesson. Just a quick update. Lord will let it be edifying, uplifting, and informative unto the elect. And just wanted to go into this real quick as we just read the book of Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. All right, and I brought this out because we're inching closer and closer to those days, all right, or to that day where the Lord will give, all right, the inheritance of the whole entire planet, all right, into the hands of the elect men, women, and children of the nation of Israel. Okay, and as we see, all right, these devils making their plans to bring about the so-called New World Order to fulfill the prophecy of the MOTB. All right, we are also getting very excited on the right-hand side because we know that it's in these days that the Lord, all right, our Lord, Yahweh Shai, makes his return. Okay, as it's written, when he's about to fill his belly, all right, the Most High is going to cast, all right, the fury, all right, upon him. Okay, so we're seeing this devil, all right, in the process of eating. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick, all right, because it's apropos for what we're going into right now. All right, there's a book of Job, chapter 20. Start off at verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. And the he is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, starting with these banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and so on and so forth, who have, over the years, used fraudulent tactics, all right, to sway the masses into giving up their liberties, their riches, resources, okay? And in return, they've gotten nothing but slavery, okay? When you look at all these systems, these bureaucracies, these governments, and so on and so forth, all right, the concept of democracy as a whole, all right, is nothing but a scam, all right? Because they've been able to infiltrate your governments, your cabinets, your political parties, right? Your religious pulpits, if you will, all right? Even the schools, all right? Every single corner of life has been infiltrated by these evil devils, okay? And now the Lord is about to, all right, as they say, that the pendulum is about to swing and the Lord is about to, all right, take these devils out. Okay, so in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. All right, I saw an article today where it says that if not half of all the data centers that were planned to be built in 2026 either were postponed or canceled completely. Okay, so they're going through those straits, man. All right, that's all part of the straits. Like you got the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, that's an example of them being in straits because they believe, all right, these elites are trying to at least use that as a catalyst to bring down the system, which it will. All right, because it's biblical prophecy in order for them to bring in the MOTB. But in their minds, it's not just that. It's more of the setup of the stage in order to take up all the natural resources and tokenize it. Okay, this whole thing that Trump is doing is all a small part of a bigger plan. Okay, ultimately to have total control of all the resources, natural resources, and then tokenize it and then control it. Okay, so that's the whole plan. All this stuff that they're doing is all because of that. All right, going into countries and taking their natural resources like oil, uranium, and all these different things like they just did. All right, just a couple of days ago. And then, of course, they had to come up with a cover story to say, oh, we had one of our pilots was down and we had to go do a rescue mission and bring him out. And, oh, he was down on a Friday. He was down and out on a Saturday. And then Sunday morning, right, he rose just like the sun. He rose up and we were able to find him. And get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Now they're talking about a ceasefire, okay, for 2 weeks. So let's see how that plays out. All right. Let's see how that plays out. So it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And we know that word wicked in the Hebrew is aimal, which is the laborers, the so-called working class. All right, these are the people that's described in the book of Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, going into the people not having regard for their kings or princes. That's going into the fulfillment of Job 20 and 22, where every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Okay, people are going to be rebellious, right? People are, if not already, they will be losing their faith in their governments. All right, you got today. I saw a video. There's a lot going on, man. I saw a video today where Alex Colin Bones Jones, was denouncing Trump. He said, "Yo, how do we 25th Amendment his ass?" You know what I'm saying? The guy was like, "Oh, we got to go through this, and then something needs to happen. He needs to be grabbed up, blah blah, whatever, and then Vance could come in." He's like, "Listen, what do we got to do? How do we go about doing this so we can get this madman up out of here?" But the whole of last year, Alex Colin Bones Jones was like the biggest cheerleader. Right? He just needed the pom-poms and he'd be good. He was the biggest cheerleader for DJT, man. Right? The guy couldn't do no wrong. Another person that used to back Trump, but now he's kind of questioning things and pushing back, is Joe Rogan. All right, I believe a month ago I did a lesson on him. All right, saying that he believes that Trump has betrayed the American people and the MAGA base. Well, Rogan, if you were listening to the prophets, you wouldn't have been saying the shit that you're saying now. All right, you wouldn't have been believing the bullshit that this thing was telling you. When we were telling you he was going to do, and I remember saying this to brothers, even in lessons, that after his 1 year in office, you're going to see a lot of things change. And you're seeing it. All right, shit, the nigga didn't even wait till 1 year. The whole tariffs thing, that was like a few months after he was sworn in. All right, I believe that shit started in April. Or yeah, I think it was in April, somewhere around April, and he got sworn in January. So you had January, February, March, April. So 3 months he was doing that whole Doge thing. They were doing all that government efficiency shit, cutting departments, all kinds of different stuff, consolidating all the power pretty much to give it to the executive branch. Okay, the whole socialism thing that's going on, right? And then you had the whole later part of last year, you had the whole government shutdown. It was at a stalemate. You know what I'm saying? They were cutting benefits and people weren't getting their SNAP benefits and all that, right? That was a tone setter, man. Okay, now they got the DHS is down and half of the government is so-called shut down and they're waiting for funds and all this. What, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? And now you got more people supporting Iran than America and Israel. But prior to the so-called war, all right, it was the other way around. Okay, because the propaganda was working, but right now it's not working. Okay, it's not working. They are wearied in their multitude of their counsels, man. All right, they're wearied in the multitude of their counsels. Okay, and that's all part of the Lord saying that He's going to bring this devil down, man. You're seeing it. All right, you're seeing it. The whole world has been exposed to this devil and his bullshit. The whole world is watching, man. Okay, so going back to Job 20 and 23, it says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. And that's going to be when Yahushua makes his return. Okay, and he's going to be raining down the missiles going to be coming down. All right, and then the laser beams from the chariots is also going to be coming down. That's that concentrated fire. All right, the concentrated laser, that fire that's going to be just straight shots. All you see just the shit explode, man. Just like that. All right, it says he shall flee from the iron weapon and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Okay, so let's get this article here. All right, this is all going into, like I said, the eating. All right, the mist of eating, so to speak. All right, that's all part of the setting up the stage, the causeth in Revelation 13 and verse 16. Okay, it says here, Mexico advances plans to eliminate cash, mandate digital ID, and we're in April. I remember 8 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, we went into Mexico coming up with their whole digital ID concept, and they said that it was going to be mandated by February of 2026. So if you look at it, they're about 2 months back. Okay, they're about 2 months back, but nonetheless, it's here. Okay, it says Mexico's far left government is accelerating globalist plans, right, to roll out a sweeping biometric ID system while laying the groundwork for a cashless society, raising serious concerns about privacy, surveillance, and government control. Okay, and we were warning for years, cashless society is equivalent to the mark of the beast. When you have a cashless society and everything is running digital, how do you buy and sell? If you can't use your cash anymore, how do you buy and sell? And no, you're not going to get an option to use your debit card. There's no such thing. All right. Once the time comes, everything is going to be consolidated where they're going to say, look, all right, it costs too much money and energy to print out these debit cards and shit. So you just have the chip, and that way you don't got to lose it. You don't got to worry about nothing. All right. That's the plan. All right. The chip is coming. It's fast approaching. It says, under President Claudia Sheinbaum, which is a J, officials are framing the initiative as voluntary modernization. Ain't that some shit? However, the details of the plans tell a different story. At the center of the plan is the new CURP Biometrica, an upgraded national identity system that goes far beyond traditional ID, and that's equivalent to the biometric visa entry-exit system that Trump is trying to incorporate here in America. Okay, you got ICE agents that are so-called in the airports. What do you think they're there for? Huh? What do you think they're there for? Right? It says the program will require citizens to submit fingerprints, which is all 10 fingers, not just one or two, no, all 10 fingers, iris scans, facial recognition data, and digital signature. This data is then embedded into a QR-linked identity profile tied directly to the individual. Dang. Right? So that's the groundwork. That's the base before the CHIP. Okay, your identity profile is a QR code which is linked to your identity profile tied directly to the individual. All right. Registration is conducted through Mexico's National Registry System, which is known as RENAPO. It's like RENAPO. It says where citizens must present official documents just to enroll. Okay. While the government claims the system is aimed at addressing disappearances, right? Very interesting. It also feeds into a centralized database accessible by law enforcement, intelligence agencies, and the National Guard. The information will be freely accessible without any requirement to notify citizens when their data is accessed. You see? Look at that. So privacy is gone. All right. Privacy is gone completely. It says the most controversial component is the cell phone mandate. By July 2026, every mobile phone line in Mexico must be linked to a verified biometric identity. All right, so they're moving fast. Any number that is not compliant will be suspended. So you're hearing the word mandatory, right? Mandate. You're hearing the word compliant or compliance. You're hearing the word suspended or suspend. Okay, and you're also hearing the word biometric identity or phrase biometric identity. You're also seeing the word verification. Okay, what does that all mean? Huh? And this is just our next door neighbor down south, Mexico. This isn't it's in Africa, oh, we got time. Oh, it's in Europe, we got time. Oh, it's in India. This is Mexico right there, right across the border. So what does that mean? That means it's fast approaching here. It's already in the West. If they're pushing this type of rhetoric, what's next? It says any number that is not compliant will be suspended. See how easy that is? And especially in this day and age where life pretty much depends on your online, what's that word? Attendance. I'm going to say it like that, right? Like the apostles say, Pastor Hart specifically, or especially, he says, if you miss a day, you miss a lot, right? So imagine not having, any form of access to phones or internet or social media in general. You're going to miss a whole lot. You're going to be missing, if you will. All right. You go missing. It's not that you're missing something. You are missed. You out of here. So it's become a point where, or it's gotten to a point where we all right, have to some way, somehow be connected to the internet. Okay. Imagine being in your house with no Wi-Fi for 24 hours, man. You're going to lose your shit because you're not going to know what's going on. Right. You're used to seeing what's going on at a click of a button. But now it's like, yo, what's going on? I can't even check nothing. If you go to a foreign country and they don't got no internet, no Wi-Fi, you come back. Let's say you go out for like a month. You come back. You feel like you just came back from like decades ago. Like how fast things are moving. A lot of information changing. You can't even keep up in a day. How much more a week or a month? Right. So That's part of the shock that's going to be hitting Americans very soon, man. All right. When you couple that with the economic collapse that's about to hit, when you couple that with the energy crisis that's about to hit, when you couple that with the famines as a result of the energy crisis that's about to hit, you couple that with the next demics that they about to start rolling out. All right, the global, what do they call it? The public health emergency of international concern, right? The fake. All right, so you're gonna be seeing Tedros pulling up very soon, talking his shit. All right, we haven't seen Gil Bates in a while. He's gonna be popping out very soon, talking his shit about being an expert, and he recommends this and requires this and all this extra shit, right? So let's not forget those things, because that's all part of biblical prophecy, going into pestilences and so on and so forth. All right. It says by July, every mobile phone line in Mexico must be linked to a verified biometric identity. Any number that is not compliant will be suspended. That effectively removes the quote optional end quote aspect of the system. It was never optional to begin with. Okay, the optional part is just the beginning stage of to let you know, oh, it's to get you in. It's to get you in, right? But then after a while, ain't no options, man. It's just what it is. Okay, it's just what it is. This is just a modus operandi, how the system works. Okay, refuse to register and you lose access to your phone. This applies to all users, prepaid, postpaid, physical SIM, and eSIM, eliminating anonymous communication entirely. So it says this applies to all users. That is exactly what John the Revelator saw pertain to he causeth all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond when it comes to the CHIP. This is all part of the building blocks to the CHIP. And he causeth all. That's the part. We are at the part where he causeth all. Okay? Or I should say we at the almost at the finish line of he causeth all. Okay, because we've seen him causing all both small and great, rich and poor, because he's changing the system. Right? In order for them to get everyone, they have to change the system. That's what John saw. He saw them building that beast system through AI and so on and so forth, man. He saw that. Okay? It says groups such as journalists, activists, and vulnerable individuals who rely on unregistered phones could be disproportionately affected. This is not Mexico's first attempt at linking identity to mobile usage. The Renault system 2008 collapsed after massive data leaks. Then the PANAUT, P-A-N-A-U-T system, PANAUT system was struck down by Mexico's Supreme Court in 2022 over privacy violations. Okay, so they're not going to stop there. They're coming back with a revised version of the same shit. Just like, what's his name? Nelson Aldridge with the Aldridge bill. All right, he presented it, I believe, to Congress. He was trying to present it. And I think he did present it, and it got shut down. Right, a lot of the states, especially in the South and the West, they were like, "Oh hell no, we ain't with that shit." Nelson Aldridge bill, fuck out of here, man. So then, he had to reach out to one of his boys. Okay, fuck, who was it? What was his name? I don't want to say. Is it Peter Schiff? No, it was somebody else that he had to. Oh, Warburg, I believe it was Warburg, and he spoke to him, and he was like, "Hey, man, listen, you can't present this shit like this. You need to change the name from the Aldridge bill to the Federal Reserve bill. You know what I'm saying? You do that, and then things are gonna go much different for you. You want to change the whole banking system and how it works and all that, man. Look, man, we're gonna have to do something different." So they did, and then that's when it passed. After I believe Congress was on recess or something, like a short little vacation, they sneaked it in. I believe with the help of Woodrow Wilson at that time. Okay, he definitely betrayed America. All right, so yeah. You've had all these presidents going all the way back, even before Woodrow Wilson, who've been selling America out for years. So everything Trump is doing is nothing new, man. All right, people now waking up to the fact that he works for the Israelis and the Jays and the small hats and all that. All your presidents, most of your presidents, if not all of them, all right, we're doing the same things. All right, but back then it was just frowned upon by the Americans, so they did it behind closed doors. Okay, but now they don't give a damn. All right, they don't give a damn. Okay, so it says here, now the government is effectively reintroducing similar measures, only on a larger scale with more data collection and broader access. At the same time, the globalist movement is pushing a transition away from cash. Okay, away from cash. And how are they doing it? They're using uh, um, this energy shortage, this gas shortages as a means to bring in this digital ID shit. Okay, they're saying that if you want to buy some gas now, you gotta have the digital ID. You can't use cash no more. I believe that's what's going on in Mexico. Okay, it says at the same time we read that it says digital payments are being expanded across gas stations. Very interesting, right? Highway toll systems, and retail environments. Okay, yeah, these devils, man. It says officials argue this will improve efficiency and reduce crime. That's what they say. All right, that's what they always say. But what does it do? It makes everything worse. Okay. However, critics warn that it also increases the traceability of transactions and reduces financial anonymity. While authorities insist cash will not disappear overnight, the direction is clear that it leads to a gradual elimination, and that is the goal through gradualism. Okay. The combined system of biometric ID tied to financial transactions and communication creates a framework where identity, movement, and spending can be tracked, access to basic services can be restricted, personal data is centralized across government systems. What does that sound like? It says in a country where large segments of the population still rely on cash and lack consistent access to digital infrastructure, the transition also risks including or excluding vulnerable groups. All right, those are the people that they don't even care about or want. All right, they're going to be tagged up to AI, all right, to feed the damn AI robots and shit. They're going to just tag them in there. You're going to be the battery, the battery pack for this new AI shit, data centers and all that. All right. It says what is being built is not just an ID system or a payment upgrade. It is a unified identity infrastructure. Okay. Linking who you are, how to communicate, and how you communicate, Salakia, how you communicate and how you transact. So everything about you. Going back to the graphos. Okay? Graphos. It says officials describe it as modernization. Well, the prophets call it prophecy. Okay? Critics see something else entirely. As participation in the system is mandatory, anonymity disappears and control becomes centralized. Wait till this hits America. And once that system is fully in place, there is no easy way back. Well, guess what? There is no way back. Ain't no easy way back. Ain't no way back. Okay? Because you know what he's always doing? As he's crossing the bridge, he's breaking the bridge down. Right? He's crossing the bridge to the other side and he's breaking the bridge down as he's crossing it. So it's like behind him, the bridge is collapsing. So once he gets to the other side, ain't no coming back. Guess what? You ain't swimming either. Okay, nobody's swimming back. It's cold as shit. Ain't nobody swimming back. So that's it. You need that bridge to be able to come back. And right now, the society that we're in right now, basically your supply chains, right? Your energy, all that, everything that you're about to see take a hit is basically that bridge collapsing, that bridge going down. And once you finish taking a hit, like they said, is a transition. It's going to be painful. Once you get to the end of it, like they promised with the CV, they said 2-week curve, we're going to be back to normal. Trump is doing the same exact thing, running the same playbook back. Oh, once the war is over, the gas price is going to go down, food is going to go back down, the prices, everything is going to go. Hey, we're going to be winning. America's golden age is here. We're going to be winning. You're going to be winning so much. You're going to be tired of winning. Oh, Mr. President, stop it. Stop it. We're winning too much. Oh, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. That's what he was saying. And people believed him. Did he not say that before he became president back in 2024? And we're in 2026 and things have gotten worse. So if you sit there still believing that some type of golden age is going to happen under this guy, then shit. Just wait and see. All the people that be supporting Trump and his bullshit, wait and see. Okay, because you next. All right, you next. Scriptures talk about the cruel Lord. Well, he's going to be coming in hot with his cruelty, man. He doesn't give a damn. Okay? People dying left and right. People, it's about to get crazy. All right, it's about to get crazy. All right, let's get this last one here. I'm going to close it out. Just wanted to give a quick update, like I said. All right, we're seeing this thing, being put together. All right, it's coming together really, really nice. All right, because America already got the real ID. You know what I'm saying? I just renewed my license, and they asked me like, "Oh, do you want the real ID or you want the regular conventional one?" I said, "What's the difference?" Like, I know the difference, but I want to know if they're gonna say some bullshit or they're gonna tell me something that makes sense to more like what we know, you know. So I said, "What's the difference?" She's like, "Well, without the real ID, you can't travel domestically by flight." I said, "That's fine. I drive." You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't fly around anywhere. I don't really go nowhere, so it's not even a big deal. So I don't really care. Just give me my license so I can use it to drive around. That's it. All that bullshit they playing, man, bruh's ain't into all that, man. But anyway, let's get this real quick. This is a book of Revelation chapter 6. Start off at let's see. Hold on a second. Right here. This is a book of Revelation chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, "And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held." Right. And why is that going to happen? Because we're entering into a stage in prophecy where us speaking the truth will be demonized on a whole nother level. Right. The demonization is happening now, but it's just Jake just talking shit. But you wait till it's a systemic, persecution. I'm talking the whole system is against us. Like, yo, man, you can't get no jobs because they know who you are, and then of course, knowing who you are, they've painted this picture. Of course, through dehumanization, they'll paint this picture like we are like the worst thing since like sliced bread. Just like what they're doing to Iran, man. Right? Even though they're the ones who are causing all this terrorism, they go around calling Iran the terrorists. Right? When this whole thing started, what was one of the first things that they did? They blew up a whole school, man. That was next to one of the bases, the military bases of the Iranians. Okay, there was a school over there, and there was a ex-intelligence agent who was mentioned. She said, "Yo, listen, when you up there like that, before they do any airstrikes, they always got to contact, like there's a base or somebody that they got to contact and verify. Verify, meaning they see certain things, they're looking at, they'll verify it, take pictures and all that, and make the system verify that yes, this is indeed one of the enemy bases. We could hit it." You know what I'm saying? But this one, they said they showed the pictures of what they saw before they struck the place, the school, and all they saw is little children and playful walls because they were coloring the walls and all kinds of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? The flooring, all that. And these devils went in there and just blow the shit up. Talking about, Iran did that. Nigga, what? See? So the whole world is waking up, man. 2 years ago, a year ago, when the whole Hamas October 7th thing happened, was it 3 years ago? Yo, there's a lot of people that were saying they were rooting for Israel, right? Because the narrative was, we were just minding our own business. We got attacked by some vicious ass niggas called Hamas. Now we need to defend ourselves. Like just randomly, October 7th, random ass day. Boom. I believe it was a Saturday too. We was out there teaching. And then boom, just like that, randomly, all hell's breaking loose. We need to defend ourselves from crazy people called Hamas. Right? You fast forward to now, they're still pushing that same bullshit. We have the right to defend ourselves. While they're on the offensive, mind you. Right? They are the aggressors turning around and telling the world, wait, we got to defend ourselves. Look at these terrorists. 47 years, they've been terrorizing the world. They've killed millions of people. What have you done and continue to do? All these threats that you're giving to Iran, the whole world is watching you, man. And the American people are not in support of all this BS that's going on. They're not in support. But guess what, American people? It's too late. All right, this is the man the Lord put in place to bring this place down. So it's too late. He didn't tell the world he is the chosen one. Who chose him? The Lord chose his ass to come do all these things, man. All right. And it includes him being the one to give the order for the men of the Lord to be put to death. As we're reading right now, it says, "I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High," not because of any other thing, but because of the testimony of Yahushua, man. Okay? We're testifying that Yahushua, our king, is going to come down and destroy this place and set up a righteous kingdom. They don't want to hear that. So, of course, they're going to demonize us so they can come against us. But guess what? The Lord said, what? "Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm." The days of you fucking with us is over, man. You don't see what's going on? All right, it's up here. It's up and up from here, man. All right, it's literally up and up from here. Okay? It says, and for the testimony which they held, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Okay? And you got, over the years, you got a lot of brothers that the Lord, called back to the spirit world, and they're all sitting there waiting. Okay? They're waiting on the day that the Lord is going to make that call. All right? And that day is going to be a great, great day, man. Okay? We all going to be rejoicing, including the people of the earth. Once we finally get that real liberation, because Trump talking about Liberation Day, we're going to be getting that liberation from this devil, man. All right? You got Jake talking about we not in captivity. Nigga, we need to be liberated from this bullshit, man. You can't do whatever the hell you want to do. You ain't making no laws. You follow laws, nigga. How the fuck are you not how you not in captivity when you the one who's following the laws and being abused every turn you go? You got a system literally that's designed to keep you down. How the hell are you not in captivity? This is not even your land. Huh? Your land is what's being trampled on by these Jays over there. But guess what? The Lord gonna do a clean job soon. Don't worry. All right? And that's what we're waiting for. Okay? So yeah, man. Seeing all these prophecies come into play, watching these signs, reading these articles, going into these articles, because these articles are biblical end time prophecies being fulfilled, man. Okay? We just reading them to let you know what time it is, but this is it. Okay? And eventually people go acknowledge it, that yes, indeed, a prophet have been among them. All right, let's get that and we're going to close it out. There's a book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, and verse 33 says, and when this cometh to pass, what is that? What is the this? That this is talking about the MOTB and America's destruction. When this cometh to pass, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, right? Because the Lord has spoken it, for they are faithful and true, right? For lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. And who are those prophets? It starts from my elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. All right, modern day terms, that's the men of the Lord, man. The prophets of the Lord. All right, Great Millstone on down. That's where the prophets of the Lord are. Okay, and everyone on this planet is going to acknowledge that they've heard, in fact, the words of the Lord coming from the one specific group of prophets. Okay, and it's going to be undeniable because everything we said was going to happen is literally going to be happening. Famines, pestilences, okay, death, mass death, destruction, martial law, all right, civil war, civil unrest. I expect all of that. Don't be surprised if all that should take place in the year 2026 AD. All right. Anyway, I'm going to end it off there. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.